guys, today we're gonna read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days by Jeff Kinney. Tuesday. I spent the afternoon playing video games and catching up on the Sunday comics. I turned to the back page and there was an ad where little cutie usually is. Want to be on the funny pages? We're looking for talented cartoonists to write and draw a one panel comic to replace Little Cutie. Can you tickle our funny bone? Man, I've been waiting forever for an opportunity like this. I had a comic in my school paper once, but this is a chance to hit a big time. The ad said they weren't accepting any animal comic strips, and I think I know why. There was this comic about a dog called Precious Poochie, and it's been running for about 50 years. The guy who wrote it died a long time ago, but they're still recycling his old comics. I don't know if you're funny or not, because to be honest with you, most of them don't even make sense to a person my age. Precious Poochie. I just can't seem to figure out. That's all the fuss. What's all the fuss over these here newfangled phonograph devices. Anyway, the newspaper has tried to get rid of that comic a bunch of times, but whenever they try to cancel it all, the Precious Poochie fans come out on the woodwork and make a big stink. I guess people think of the cartoon dog as their own pet or something. The last time they tried to cancel Precious Poochie, 4 busloads of senior citizens from Leisure Towers showed up at the newspaper office downtown and didn't leave until they got their way. Mom was acting extra cheesy this morning, and I could tell she has something up her sleeve. At 10 o'clock, she said, wait, what is it? A tra-la-la-la, huh? Okay. He'll stay here. He'll read it. Red tra-la-la, tra-la-la. Okay. So he'll be here. Okay. At 10 o'clock, she said we all need to get in the station wagon. And when I asked her where we were going, she said it was a surprise. I noticed Mom had picked sunscreen and bathing suits and stuff in the back of the station wagon, so I thought we must be headed for the beach. But when I asked her if I was right, Mom said the place we were going was better than the beach. Wherever we were going, it was taking a long time to get there, and it wasn't that fun being stuck in the back seat with Roderick and Manny. Manny was sitting in between me and Roderick on the hump. At one point, Roderick decided to tell Manny the hump was the worst seat in the car because it was the smallest and least comfortable. Well, that totally set Manny off. Eventually, Mom and Dad got sick of Manny's crying. Mom said I had to take a turn on the hump because I'm the second youngest and it was only fair. So every time Dad ran over a pothole, my head hit the roof of the car. At about 2 o'clock, I was getting really hungry. So I asked if we could stop for some fast food. But Dad wouldn't pull over because he said the people at fast food restaurants are idiots. Well, I know why he thinks that. Every time Dad goes to the field fried chicken place over near our house, he tries to place his order order through the trash can. I like 2 value meals and a bottle of... Hello? Hello? I saw a sign for a pizza place, and I begged Mom and Dad to let us eat there. But I guess Mom was trying to save money because she came prepared. I packed healthy snacks. A half hour later, we pulled into a big parking lot, and I knew exactly where we were. We were at the Slipslide Water Park, where we used to go as kids. And I mean little kids. It's really a place meant for people Manny's age. Hello. What? With your rabbit. Oh. You could read with tra-la-la, tra-la-la. Okay. Well, I'll read this. I'll read it from here. And tra-la, tra-la-la, tra-la-la. Will you leave for a second? Because I have to read this book. Okay. Mom must have heard me and Raleigh and Roderick groan in the back seat. She said we were gonna have a great day as a family, and it'll be the highlight of our summer holiday. I have bad memories of the Slipslide Water Park. One time Grandpa took me there, and he left me in this water slide area for practically the whole day. He said he was gonna go read his book, and he'd meet me there in 3 hours. But I didn't actually go on any slides because of the sign at the entrance. Under 48 must be accompanied by an adult. I thought you had to be 40 years old to ride, but it turns out the 2 little lines next to the number meant inches. Oh. So I basically wasted my day waiting for Grandpa to come back and get me. And then we had to leave. Roderick has bad memories of the Slipslide Water Park, too. Last year, his band got booked to do a show on the music stage they have near the wave pool. Roderick's band asked the park people to set up with the smoke machine so they could have some special effects for the show. But somebody screwed up and they set Roderick's band up with bubble machine instead. I found out the reason Mom took us to the water park today. It was half price for families. Unfortunately, it looked like just about every family in the state was there too. When we got through the gates, Mom rented a stroller for Manny. I convinced her to spend a little more money and rent the double stroller because I knew it was going to be a long day and I wanted to conserve my energy. Mom parked the stroller near the wave pool, which was so crowded you could barely even see the water. After we put on our sunscreen and found a place to sit, I felt a few raindrops and then I heard thunder. Then an announcement came over the loudspeaker. Due to lightning, the Slipslide Water Park is now closed. Thank you for coming and have a nice day. Everyone hit the exits and get into their cars. But with all people trying to leave at the exact time, it was a total traffic jam. Manny tried to entertain everyone by telling jokes. At first, Mom and Dad were encouraging. Knock, knock. Who's there? You're underwear. Haha, good one, Manny. But after a while, Manny's jokes didn't even make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 named Clive. We were low on petrol, so we had to turn off the air conditioner and wait for the parking lot to clear off. Mom said she had a headache, and she went to the back to lie down. An hour later, traffic finally thinned out and we got on the highway. We stopped for patrol, and about 45 minutes later, we were home. Dad told me to wake Mom up, but when I looked in the back of the station wagon, Mom wasn't there. For a few minutes, nobody knew where she went. Then we realized the only place she could be was at the petrol station. She must have got out to use the bathroom when we stopped and nobody noticed. Sure enough, that's where she was. We were glad to see her, but I don't think she was too happy. She was too happy to see us. Mom didn't really say anything on the ride back. Something tells me she's had the feel of family togetherness for a while. That's good because I have too. Sunday. I really wish we didn't go on that trip yesterday because we stayed home. If we stayed home, my fish would still be alive. Before we left for our trip, I fed my fish, and Mom said if I should feed Roderick fish too. Roderick's fish was in a bowl on top of the refrigerator, and I'm pretty sure Roderick hasn't fed his fish or cleaned the bowl once. I think Roderick's fish was living off the algae growing of the glass. When Mom saw Roderick's bowl, she thought it was disgusting. So she took his fish and put it on my bowl dump. When we got home from the water park, I went straight to the kitchen to feed my fish. But he was gone, and it wasn't a big mystery what had happened to him. I didn't even have time to feel sad about it, because today was Father's Day and we all have to get in their car and go up to Grandpa's for brunch. I'll tell you this, if I'm ever a dad, you're not gonna see me dressing up in the shirt and tie going to Leisure Towers on Father's Day. I'm gonna go off myself and have some fun. But Mom said she thought it would be good for the 3 generations of happily men to be together. I guess I must be picking at my food because Dad asked me what was wrong. I told him I was bummed out because my fish died. Dad said he didn't really know what to say because he'd never had a pet die before. He said he used to have a dog named Nutty when he was a kid, but Nutty went away to a butterfly farm. I've heard Dad tell this same story about Nutty and the butterfly farm about 1,000,000 times, but I didn't want to be rude and cut him off. Then Grandpa spoke us and said he had a confession to make. He said that Nutty didn't actually run away to a butterfly farm. Grandpa said what really happened was that he accidentally ran over the dog when he was backing his car out of the driveway. Was that Frank's skateboard? Grandpa said he made up the butterfly farm story so he didn't have to tell the dad truth, but that now they could have a good laugh over it. But Dad was mad. He told us to get in the car and he left Grandpa with the bill for brunch. Dad didn't say anything on the way home. He just dropped us off at the house and drove away. Screech! Dad was gone for a long time, and I was starting to think maybe he was gonna just take the rest of the day for himself. But he showed up in an hour, carrying a big cardboard box. Dad put the box on the floor, and believe it or not, there was a dog in there. Mom didn't seem to be too thrilled that Dad went out and bought a dog without checking with her first. I don't think Dad has ever been bought a pair of pants for him without getting Mom's okay beforehand. But I think she could see that Dad was happy, so she let him keep it. At dinner, Mom said we should come up with a name for the dog. I wanted to name it something cool like Shredder or Ripjaw, but Mom said my ideas were too violent. Manny's ideas were a whole lot worse. He wanted to name the dog an animal name like elephant or zebra, Z for short. Roderick liked the animal name idea, and he said we should call the dog Turtle, Turd for short. Mom said we should call the dog Sweeter. I thought that was a really terrible idea because the dog is a boy, not a girl. But before any of us could fight it, Dad agreed with Mom's idea. Sweetie for short. I think Dad was willing to go with anything Mom came up with if it meant he didn't have to take the dog back. But something tells me Uncle Joe would not approve of our dog's name. Dad told Roderick he should go to the mall to buy a ball and get the dog's name printed on it. And here's what Roderick came back with. Sweaty, huh? Wait, what is Uncle Joe's dog's name? I think it's Killer. Yeah, Killer. Whole lot different. Okay. I guess that's what you get when you send the worst speller in the family off to go your errands. Wednesday. I was really happy when we got our dog at first. But now I'm starting to have second thoughts. The dog's actually been driving me crazy. A few nights ago, a commercial came on TV, and he slowed some gulpers popping on and out of their holes. Sweetie seemed pretty interested in that, so Dad said, Where are the gulpers, Sweetie? Where are they, boy? They got Sweetie all riled up, and he started barking at the TV. Oh, I have a throat. Oh, my throat is sore. I have a sore throat. You should read it. Oh, I should rest. I'm gonna sleep. Okay. Now, Sweetie barks at the TV constantly, and the only thing that gets him to stop is when the commercial with the GoPros comes back on. Bark! But what really bugs me about the dog is that he likes to sleep in my bed, and I'm afraid he'll bite my hand off if I try to move him. And he doesn't just sleep in my bed. He sleeps right smack in the middle. Dad comes in my room at 7 o'clock every morning to take Sweetie out. But I guess me and the dog have something in common, because he doesn't like getting out of the bed in the morning either. So Dad turns the lights on and off to try to make the dog wake up. Come on, Sweetie, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Quick, quick, quick. Yesterday, Dad couldn't get Sweetie to go outside, so he tried something new. He went to the front door of the house and rang the doorbell, which made the dog shoot out of the bed like a rocket. The only problem was he used my face as a launching pad. Oh. Ding dong. It must be raining outside in the morning, because when Sweetie came back in, he was shivering and soaking wet. Then he tried to get under the covers with me to get warm. Luckily, the muddy hand has given me a lot of practice with this sort of thing, so I was a bit able to keep him out. Thursday. This morning, Dad wasn't able to get their dog out of my bed no matter what he tried. So he went to work, and about an hour later, Sweetie woke me up to take him outside. I wrapped myself in my blanket and then let the dog out of the front door and waited for him to do his business. But Sweetie decided to make a run for it, and I had to chase him after that. You know, I was actually having a pretty decent summer until Sweetie came along. He's ruining the two things that are most important to me, television and sleep. And you know how that is always getting on my case about lying around all day. Well, Sweetie is twice as bad as me, but that's crazy about that dog. I don't think the feeling is mutual though. Dad is always trying to get the dog to give me a kiss on the nose, but Sweetie won't do it. Wiggle, wiggle, scram. I can kind of understand why the dog doesn't like that. The only person Sweetie really likes is Mom, even though she barely pays him any attention. And I can tell that it's starting to drive the dad a little bit nuts. Get down, Sweetie. I think Sweetie is just more of a ladies' man, so I guess that's something else we have in common. Saturday. Last night, I was working on a new comic to replace Little Cutie. I figured that would be a lot of competition for the open slot, so I wanted to come up with something that really stood out. I would make this comic called Hey People, that's sort of a half cartoon, half a bicycle. I figure I can use it to make the world a better place, or at least a better place for me. Let's see. I guess. A burger, fried cookie. Hey. Oh, what should I eat? When ordering from a fast food restaurant, try to decide what you want before you get to the front of the line. My toenail was so ingrown, it took the doctor an hour to dig it out. When in public, kindly refrain from discussing details of your recent surgery. Ew. I figured since Dad reads the comics, I might as well write a few that were specially targeted at him. After you're done with your shower, please rinse your hair off the soap. I would have written a bunch of comics last night, but Sweetie has driving me crazy. And I couldn't concentrate. While I was drawing, the dog was sitting on my pillow, licking his paws and his tail, and he was really getting onto it. Ew. Whenever Sweetie does it, I have to remember to flip the pillow over when I go to bed. Last night I forgot, and when I lay down, I put my head right on the wet spot. Speaking of licking, Sweetie finally kissed Dad last night. It's probably because Dad has crisps on his breath, I think dogs have an automatic response to that sort of thing. I didn't have the that hurt to tell that Sweetie just has spent the past half hour on my pillow licking his rear end. That would be gross. Anyway, I'm hoping I can write a few more comics tonight, because I'm not gonna be able to get any work done tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 1st of July, and Mom is making the whole family go to the town pool. I tried to get out of it, mostly because I want to make it through the summer without having to walk past the shower guys. But I think Mom's still hoping to have one perfect family day this summer, so there's no use fighting it. I'll pass. Okay guys, today was the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, or Dog Days by Jeff Kinney. And please like and subscribe, and see you next time, and say bye to Bunny, Rabbit, and Tralalero, Tralala. Okay guys, see you next time, bye.